Hello, world. It is December 12th, Tuesday, December 12th, 2023, and looking out the window, it defines it's a beautiful sunny day, but cold this morning. And I think the high is supposed to be around 40, but it is supposed to be sunny, so enjoy this weather while you can. And it's interesting that the weather is like this, given the devotion for today, as you'll soon see. Sunglasses at Night is the title of the devotion written by John Edgerton. And John bases the devotion upon Acts chapter 5, verses 12 to 13. New International Version. The apostles performed many signs and wonders among the people, and all the believers used to meet together in Solomon's colonnade. No one else dared join them, even though they were highly regarded by the people. And then John writes, as a deeply pale individual, unalloyed sun is a logistical nightmare. Did I remember to put on sunscreen? What about my hat? Did I bring my hat? If I bring you my also very pale daughter, this difficulty is compounded by the sure knowledge that all our clothing will soon be streaked with zinc oxide. Winter is much easier, and the light is more glancing and filtered through the thicker sky. And yes, I know sunscreen is advisable on the ski slopes. And no, catapulting down a mountain strapped to two boards is not my idea of a good time. I feel kinship with the people who didn't dare join the apostles in Solomon's colonnade. That's a fancy word for porch. The apostles were performing amazing, dazzling, bright, glaring, unalloyed wonders, and it was scaring people off. The Jesus movement struggled to grow because the apostles were all sunshine and no shade. Christ was nurtured in the darkness of Mary's womb. He was protected from Herod's wrath by the safety of night's shadows. He was resurrected in the deep darkness of the tomb. The darkness is the site of tender miracles, of safety, of respite. Sun and light and brightness have their place, it's true. So does darkness and the cool of the deeps, the quiet of the moments when the night blooms are opening to the air. As the nights grow longer and the stars and moon take center stage, this is not a season to be endured. It is a season of blessings. And John's prayer. God of the darkness, cover me up. Amen. Well, a couple things that came to mind for me when reading this devotion is that there's some, I don't want to say controversy, but discussion about the terms of darkness and light, even in the Bible. Darkness always seeming to connote that it's somehow evil or something. I'm not sure. But it really isn't. And this devotion made me think of that conversation and made me also think of a time that I went camping. I had a friend who had 10 acres of land in the middle of the lower peninsula of Michigan, far from any cities or natural light. And we had to drive a couple of miles on a little 2-track road to get to his property. And it was all wooded. There was some grassy area where the 2-track went, but then it was all wooded. And we went camping with another friend of ours who had never been camping before, ever. And so we camped in the woods. And late the first night we were there, I had to go get something from my car that I had forgotten, and it was night. It was dark. There was no full moon. The moon was not to be seen, but no clouds in the sky either. And when I walked out of the woods and into the field where my car was parked, I was just blown away by the starlight that is in the sky. I mean, it's the first time I've really seen the Milky Way in all its glory, because you could see so much. Because I don't know, we were probably 30, 40 miles from the nearest town, and even that wasn't a very big town, so there wasn't a lot of ambient light at all to hide that, something we don't really see when we live in the city. In fact, it was so much starlight, it was actually casting a shadow. And it was one of the most beautiful nights I can remember. And so I went back and told my friends and had the guy who had never been camping before outside the city come out. and he looked up, and all he kept saying was, "Oh my God," because it was, we just don't, if you've never left the city, you just have no idea what the night sky is really like when there's no ambient light to prevent us from seeing the Milky Way. It's just incredible. And then too, I think just being out at night and sometimes listening to the sounds. I know in our area, in the warmer days, there's a lot of little peepers, little frogs that are out, in addition, of course, to crickets chirping at night. And sometimes I just like to go out and sit in our yard at night and just listen, as it's beautiful and it's so calm. And there's some sort of calmness to the night that I just don't feel in the day. But anyway, those are the thoughts that came to my mind as I was reading this devotion. I don't think we appreciate the darkness as much as we should, because it has just as much life to give us as the light does. Hope you have a good day, and hope to talk to you again soon.